All right. See if it works this weekend. We've been having a lot of issues lately on getting interviewers. So today's video is gonna be about Santa Muerte. Oh, there she is. Let me send her the request. Oh, wrong person. This one. Okay, there it is. Hopefully she'll get the request. I think that's her. I'm just waiting for my guest to come on. There you go. How you doing, Lauren?
I'm doing good. There's Mimi.
How's doing, Mimi?
Hey.
All right. So today's guest is Lauren. We're gonna be talking about Santísima Muerte in today's video. And I wanted to bring somebody who has been practicing or has been believing in this practice for a while now, but it's now just getting like deep into the practice. So why don't we? I'm just gonna let Lauren tell us a little bit about herself, how she started, how she got involved in this practices. So Lauren, the floor is yours.
Okay. I started a little while back ago. It started because somebody was putting witchcraft on me and my wife, and I needed help, and I didn't know where else to turn. I was at. We went to St. Jude. We tried everything. Nothing would work. And
When you talk about St. Jude, you're talking about the church?
no, 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 no.
Okay.
To pray into St. Jude. I started trying to pray to St. Jude. Nothing was working. Like everything, it was just my life was just horrible. Like the witchcraft. I talked to my mother, and she gave me a history about our past, our family. Um, and when I got in touch with Santa Muerte, I knew that's where I needed to be from day one.
Okay.
Um, I started off with no statue. I started off with nothing. I'm about to show you what I started off with
Okay.
from the dollar store. This is all I could afford. This is what I started off with.
Your
But
faith,
I put
basically.
my faith into this. And I put my trust, and it worked just as good as my beautiful statues. I got on my knees and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. I asked for understanding. I asked for wisdom. Um, my heart. I went to her with a pure heart. Like I said, I was at the end of my ropes. She has helped me. I used to be a cutter. I stopped cutting. I used to be a drug addict. I'm not. Um, I used to be angry all the time. I was in prison, and now my heart is so much at peace because of her. There's nothing I take more pride in than praying, than just talking to her. I could be having a bad day, and just a few minutes of my time just talking, and it's over. Um, she's helped me overcome more obstacles than anybody. Um, I tried to help other people because I know what she's done for me. She's also done it for my wife. My wife is a living example of why we practice La Santísima Muerte.
Mm.
Tell them, honey. It's okay.
Well, mine was pretty much my family put it on me. Pretty much have been a history of sexual abuse by my own family, by my mom's boyfriends. Been physically abused, been raped, done stupid stuff. Pretty much, I'm the one who struggled the longest with my faith and trying to put faith in Santa Muerte. I'm the one because of the binds that I had, the everything that was causing me to prevent from staying away from what my true calling was, and that's pretty much to help others and to find my way to Santa Muerte and to be free, pretty much. I mean, started off something simple. We didn't have
Okay, I
all it took.
guess her phone froze. Then she's back. She's back. You're back. It's freezing a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is just an example of some of the things we went through. We did go through a lot of, you know, there was times where you just like you're like, dude, there's no help, there's no hope, there's no. But I always felt her touch. It's okay. You just got to keep it. It's okay. We went from having no food in our refrigerator to starving, to asking churches for food,
To begging people for money
to borrowing money every
day.
yeah. We had no gas money to get to work, no nothing, and we were both working. To having a refrigerator full of food, to having a home, to having two cars.
But through it all, we were able to as well help others with what we were able to receive as well. We weren't shady with it. We were able to give. That's what it's all about. You can't just expect to take something and not be pure from your heart to give back.
Okay.
It's a circle.
I'm gonna I'm gonna get you out and bring you back in because the image is very bad. Let me
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna invite you back in. Stay there. I'm gonna or you
Okay.
send me a request to back in, okay? Because the image is like very blurry. Something happened on your phone there. I don't know if you guys got a phone call or something. So
How do you do it back in, baby?
okay, yeah.
I've never.
So I mean, it's a many lot of stories, beautiful stories, that people go through. You heard her story where she said that she started basically cutting herself. A lot of people go through a lot of difficult situations, and when you put your faith in there, then that's good. There you go. You're back. So you're back again. um, so I was explaining about the situation when you went where you took you took the stress out of you and every the situations you were going through by cutting yourself, which a lot of people, do nowadays. It's like they take this stressful situation or they don't know what they're doing and they start cutting themselves. So go ahead, the floor is yours again. So you can.
I was a cutter, and I was a cutter for a long time. My wife was a cutter as well. I helped my wife through it as well because I've been there.
Okay.
I went to cut myself one day, and Santa Muerte was like, no. I felt it. No. She was like, no. Put it down. Put it down. You don't need to do this. I haven't ever cut myself again. It wasn't worth it. It was like I'll always have these war wounds. They'll always be a part of my life, my past. But what I found is something much more greater. She helped me through all of this. She helped me through addiction. I don't want drugs. I don't want to cut. I don't want to drink. I finally found myself. And for some people, they struggle with it. Some people,
Eh,
go through depression,
And
anxiety.
when you talk about addiction, was it like strong drugs or was it like weed or was it just
Yes, sir. I was
No, it's,
addicted to heroin at one point in my life. I was addicted to cocaine at one
wow?
point in my life. Um,
I was addicted to meth. I was addicted to crack, ecstasy pills, pretty much you name it, we did it.
and she's been clean.
And we've been clean together, slowly but surely. And just when
Wow.
you think you're at your lowest point, when you just have nowhere else to turn to, that's pretty much when she shows up to let you know that it's okay. You're gonna get through this. You're just gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight. I mean, at one point, you're gonna have to fight too. You can't just expect for her to do all the work. You have to put your energy and your soul, and she knows your intentions behind it. And if it's true, she will help you.
For a lot of people that are struggling, it gets hard. It's not easy. It gets hard when you don't have no food, when you can't pay your rent. We lost our home. We went to
Lost our
living in a
car.
hotel. Yeah, we lost our car. Our car broke down on us. We lived in a one room that you could reach out and touch my oven. It was the smallest room ever. You couldn't even walk around. Um, and I didn't lose my faith though. I continued to pray. I continued to pray. Every time I felt my wife just lose a little bit of faith, I was like, "Don't worry, she's got us. I know she got us, and I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it."
That was one of my biggest problems, is having my faith to stay strong, because I was the one who just struggled the most with everything. I was the one who really like messed my head up, deal with my family, the way that they did me, the way that they treated me, what they did to me, what they're still doing to me. It really hits you. And you just start to lose faith. But through it all, no matter what, she shows you that she's going to be right there when you're ready. She's going to be there for you. You get emotional.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm a very emotional person,
I'm sorry.
period.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
When you
Um,
talk, that's the thing. When you say something, when we talk, we're talking to you
We
from our
feel you,
hearts
like we feel you,
because
we
we
understand.
understand. We've been hungry. We've been at our lowest. As my wife, she was about to divorce me. I didn't go put a love spell on my wife. I didn't try to, you're gonna come back to me. I'm
And it
gonna.
wasn't all peaches and cream. We
I
fought every single day, but she stayed strong for it. She had enough faith for all of us to go around, and that's what brought me through. That's what helped me to stay strong.
I prayed for my marriage. I prayed for
so
my wife.
you went from having one little skull statue to what do you have now?
Yeah.
I mean, did it change?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm about to show you.
Holy crap.
I'm gonna get up close so you guys can see. This is the bottom of my statue. This is the bottom of my altar. Well, our altar. This is the top, and this is the very top.
Oh, you have the Aztec one there. Okay, beautiful.
Oh yeah, look. There's a little one. There's her cigarettes. There's her tobacco, her ashtray. There she is. This is what we came to. But when we started, my first statue was a gift for helping somebody. It
Hmm.
was a gift. And she
Yeah.
was my very first statue.
Okay, the white one, La Blanca.
Yes, we got this one for $5 and we treasured it. Because,
A lot of this stuff wasn't like you would be
we didn't have any
surprised. That
money.
picture right here is $5. I paid $5 for that picture that takes up half the wall. It's just simple. It's little things. You don't have to go out and spend a whole ton of money on it.
And she is everywhere.
It's the spirit. It's the faith that you put into it. The energy that takes into it. That's what counts. That's what matters.
We
So
have to
she
realize
really,
that.
so she really came in and through her faith and through you putting your faith in her, everything is just changed. Now you're no longer basically in the streets. You're no longer from hotel to hotel begging for money, begging for food, to having your own place, having two cars, and having that faith that you built up. It has moved you. Not
She
especially
does.
you, Lauren. No, last time I offer you a drink, you're like, nope, I don't drink that. You don't even like, you stop drinking, you stop doing drugs. You spent time because when we spoke, you told me you spent quite a few time, time
I
in
spent
jail,
years in prison.
and and that is where you tell me about, because you told me a beautiful story that when you asked her for help and you told me why you went to prison. That story there motivated me because it was like,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and tell us that.
Okay, so I was a junkie and I had been on the streets. And at every point in a junkie's life, you know, we get tired. We get tired of being hungry. We get tired of looking for our next high. We get tired of begging. You get tired of living that lifestyle for 7 days straight. You're up. 2 weeks, you're up. Um, I had flatlined 6 times in one day. I overdosed. Nope, it's not your time, baby. It's not your time. I got on my knees and I prayed. I said, I can't do this by myself. I'm trying. I want to be clean. I really do. I don't ask for anything, but I really need your help right at this very moment. I need you. With tears in my heart, with tears in my eyes and my heart heavy. I was on my knees. I knew I wasn't living right. Everywhere I went, I would hide the Bible. I would walk away. Like anytime somebody tried to tell me something, 3 days later, 2 days later, I get locked up. I go to prison. I'm angry. I'm like, how could you say you love me and you sent me to prison? And I hear this voice clear as day. You asked for my help and I helped you. I just didn't give it to you the way you wanted it. But you asked me for help and I helped you because now you are no longer a drug addict. That was the hardest part of my life. I had so much shame. I was embarrassed. I weighed like 80 pounds. I hated who I was. I hated who I was. And now every day I wake up, I love who I am. But I remember when my wife was about to leave me, I didn't say, I wish witchcraft on you. I want you to burn down. Oh, da 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 da. I'm going to make you love me. You know what I said? Santa Muerte. Please. In tears. My heart is hurting. My wife is troubled. Please help her. Even when she was mean to me, I didn't go and say, Santa Muerte, hurt me. Not ever once. I prayed in that room from sun up till sun down. And it didn't matter. Everything that was thrown at me, all kind of obstacles were thrown in my way. Well, you're going to lose your home. All right. You're going to lose all your money. All right. You're going to lose this. All right. But you can't take my faith. That's fine. Take it. You can have it. I could get it back. My wife would tell you when she couldn't pray for herself, I was praying for her. I was in that room praying for her. I had to work extra hard because I was praying for the both of us.
Yeah. Um,
A lot. A lot of people don't understand that there is a lot of people out there that can relate to you. There's a lot of people out there that have gone through just what you're going through. And then there's a lot of people out there that will judge you. And for a long time, I let people look at me and judge me. And I always felt bad. They always made me feel bad. Not anymore. My head is above water, and I'm like, no. I'm blessed to have gone through what I went through because it made me to the person that I am today. All that stuff helped me.
I'm pretty sure, it's also hard. I mean, two females also getting together, and there's a lot of people that go through the same situations, especially in the gay community too. There's a lot of hate towards them. Um, you know, Also a lot of religions don't accept you for your sexual preference, which at the end of the day we all, sons and daughter of, of the same universal God. And that's one thing about religion, how there's a lot of, not, I wouldn't say hate, but there's a lot of rules towards, accepting homosexuality into the traditions, where Santa Muerte is like she doesn't care because at the end of the day, it's your death, it's your energies, the energies of death, which she's not racist or anything, So that's why this practice is booming because it's acceptable, it's accepted, everyone is accepted. It's not just, oh, because you are African American, you can't, because you're gay, because you're lesbian, or because you're Chino, Chinese, or, because you're Jew. No,
Yeah.
because it's death. At the end of the day, it'll come for us, you know,
No matter who
um,
we are.
no matter who we are. So let's talk about your little experience. You just went through initiation, okay, into a circle. Now I want to clarify this. I want to clarify this that initiation is not necessary for any religion. or any practices as long as you have faith. But when you want to belong to a certain society, to a certain group that teaches you like initiation. How you doing, Yaki? Buenas tardes, Yaki. Tata, Jose, buenas tardes. But it's not necessary. But I want you to talk about how you felt, if you want to, and then I want to get Mimi in there on the process that you went through your little mini initiation, and did you pay like thousands of dollars for that? Talk about your experience, because I know a lot of people are getting scammed and paying thousands of dollars for something that is not necessary. So I want you to tell us a little about that.
No, we didn't pay thousands of dollars. We made a small donation because we're doing okay. But we don't have lots of money. But we're able to make a donation. That was the blessing. We weren't at that point ever. The
That
initiation was
was
one of the
that
most.
was your donations like 300, $400, or am I close? I mean, I know, but I want people to
My
understand
my
that it.
donation to La Santa Muerte was $20.
Okay.
And let me tell you, she knew what we had in our bank. She knew. She said, "It's all right. It's all right. I know
It was fruit from our heart.
that we're giving this to you from our hearts. Like, this is what we have. We want to share it with you. It don't matter if we broke this week, but I want to share this with you because of what you shared with me." When we did the initiation, um, my life has changed tremendously. I feel different. I feel brand new. What used to anger me don't quite anger me anymore. What I've learned, like, it's the most beautiful thing, the most beautiful feeling. And as you said, you don't have to do it. I did it, and I felt wonderful. Um,
I was terrified. I was terrified, of course, and I was scared because I felt like at one point that I really truly wasn't ready because it's a big devotion, but deep down inside, I knew that it was just because I was scared. I knew that it was just the fear. It was everything trying to stop me from becoming and doing for what I knew was in my heart to do, and that was to do that. I mean, it was a lot more harder for me. I did have to let out some bad things inside because, like I said, my family put some really bad stuff on me. They hurt me pretty bad. I mean, they've been doing it to me since I was like 7 years old. Um, for for something very stupid. Don't want to get into that, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't
it's been
personal
happening for
things
a
that you
very
personal.
long time. So when I did that, I felt like this huge relief, like that I know now that I can conquer whatever that my family tries to throw at me, whatever whoever tries to throw what at me, that I know that I am now fully protected. That's what I needed to know, that my faith is now forever strong and in Santa Muerte.
Mhm.
my wife was
Um,
taking psych meds, and a lot of people don't know that she was on psych meds because she had anxiety and depression. And
PTSD.
PTSD. I seen my wife on these medications, and I took my wife off, and I prayed even harder. I prayed even harder because I was like, she don't need this. This is not the answer. It's a band-aid.
yes.
All it was doing was just suppressing what I knew was inside of me, the strength that I had, the faith, the power that needed to emerge. That's all it did was stop me from becoming who I needed to be.
This was a it was, and at the time it feels like it's the end of the world. You feel like, well, I ain't got no food, I ain't got no car, I ain't got no clothes. I had to get up every day and hand wash her clothes for work. We didn't even have money to wash clothes. And
Wow.
I'm not kidding. We were bad. I didn't stop praying. I did, like she'll tell you, I didn't stop praying. Like, I stayed praying. Like, and she would look at me crazy sometimes. Like, I don't know why you're doing this. Like,
I was just full of anger and
and
just no understanding. And
but the more she got angry, the more I prayed. The more I prayed because I knew she needed prayer. more than anything. And then one day she got on her knees right beside me and we prayed together. We've been praying together ever since.
Now I'm succeeding in my job. We're able to pay our bills and have a roof over our head. Our cars are always fully, stocked with gas and everything that we need. We don't have to ask or beg anybody for anything because our queen has gave us everything that we ever needed without to have to ask anybody ever else again because of things that we did for her. These are what she has blessed us with. Our faith,
Yeah,
our spirit that we put into it, our souls, our energy,
yeah, it's
and that's
something
all
that
we
is
ask
just
for.
amazing because I remember when I first met you, came to your first your first reading. It's like, no, we ain't got no money and stuff. We ain't got this. We are, and I had given you a price, right? I remember that when you came here.
You
But then
came with
when I
several
started
things.
reading and I saw your situation, I was like, no, forget about it. Forget about it. It's like, but it's just amazing how you went from after what you were told and stuff. You went from there, and it's like, bam, up there. When you put your faith in, your faith came out, and then you took the next step, which was brave, which I was a little bit worried for Mimi when I was doing the initiation for Mimi, and then she just started like, breaking down and throwing. I was like, it's okay, let it out, let it out, and I started
I'm the
praying over
very
her and stuff.
emotional
Yeah, it
one.
was very emotional. It was very
Yeah.
emotional, but I still hadn't heard the story until the next day when I started talking to Lauren, like, and she just let it all out, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Everything that you went through, from being a drug addict, from begging for food and stuff, and it's just amazing how you two went through the same thing, and somehow it's like you got together, you both got
Man, it
together.
just happened all by chance. Believe it or not, it was
We got together
this
by
dating
accident.
on actually on this dating site called Moco Space. If anybody's ever heard of
Mocos.
that.
I was there to play the games, and it
And we were
says,
just it was unintentional, and she just happened to send me a friend request, and she was somebody I never would have dated, but it looked like she needed a friend, and then next thing you know, here we are 8 years later, 4 years marriage.
yep.
Wow. you know. And like I said, it's amazing. You went from one little statue that you got at the dollar store. That, I mean, it wasn't even like nothing to do with her, but it had to do with the Dia de los Muertos. But yet you said this is Santa Muerte, and you put your faith in there, and now you got
That's
this
how we
altar full.
started.
And you told me that you had to remove another one because I know that one of your
Yeah, we
promises
we
was to get a
we took
statue
stuff
every.
down. Yeah,
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 we
that's
had
good.
more
That's
stuff.
good.
We had to
Yeah.
remove some stuff to add on, but I mean, um, it's amazing now where we've come. When you look back and see the amazing steps that you've took into your life to become the person that you are right now, it's astonishing. It's wonderful. It's a great feeling. It's
we couldn't even buy her we couldn't buy her none of her favorite foods. We couldn't buy her none.
Okay. I think it's the weather here in Houston.
We used to just feed her whatever we were eating, a little bit because we were struggling. Now she has, as you can see,
right now
she
she has a fresh papaya with sugar.
she has the gansito leche. We buy her bread in the mornings. We buy her cookies for lunch. Like, she's truthfully
Especially
spoiled.
when we've asked her for something, she'll make her a great feast, with shrimp and steak and stuff like
Wow.
that. Pretty much anything that we would like to eat, we give to her
But
in thanks in return as an offering.
but let's say this: we don't go out and spend a lot of money. We go to the Dollar Tree and we'll buy a little bag of shrimp for $1, and we'll buy a ribeye for $1, and I'll chop it up, make it with some cheese on it and some tortillas.
Mm.
Thanking her for helping me, for protecting me. It's like on Mother's Day, she had a huge feast, a huge feast. Like, I mean, just all out. And I went to her and told her Happy Mother's Day because she comforts me. when I'm alone or when I'm going through something or I feel sometimes I come to the altar. And my wife will tell you, I'll come to this altar 50 times a day. Like, and she'll just look at me crazy. What are you doing? I just want to talk to her, you know?
Your
Like,
Mama,
personality is
Mama, I just
just
want to know,
different.
let you know that I'm gonna go take a shower now. I'll be right back.
No, no, not for real. It'd be stuff like that. Like no joke. She's like, I'll be right back, Queen. Hold on. I gotta go do
Yeah,
some more
tell
cooking.
us. You know, there was another story that you told us. I mean, that you told me, because not only do you give to her, but you also give now to those that are in need. Tell us about that story about that homeless. What happened in the rain that day? That
so there was a homeless man that was laying outside, and there was these two cops. You remember that? And I walked up to them, and this homeless man, it was raining on him, you know, and I was like, man, that's messed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, he's
they
not.
made him grab his stuff and go out into the rain, and it was just so heartbreaking. Like just sad. Like all he wasn't bothering nobody. He wasn't even panhandling. He wasn't asking for anything. He was just
He
there.
was asleep.
who
And
who
I
made him
said,
move?
the
The cop.
cops. They called the cops on him, and you know, I was like, that's not right, man. And you know, usually like people are like, hey, don't go out there. There's cops. I don't care. I don't care. You know what? I don't care. I'm not
And they're
trying to
like, he
harm
told
them.
her that it's because he didn't buy nothing. He has no food or anything. She's like, all right, so if I buy him something, can he stay?
I went in there and I said, you
There
can have whatever you want. I bought him some soups. I bought him a hot coffee. I bought him some cookies. I bought him
and
stuff
that's
that he
something
can.
to drink.
And I told him, I gave him a little bit of money. Because let me tell you, it didn't matter how, like, you know what I mean? Like, Santa Muerte gave me this money. I can help you. Here you go. He was able to get out of the rain, sit down, and eat. And people don't understand, like, stuff like that. Like, I've gone to help. Here's a true story. My mom, unfortunately, you know, she's addicted to drugs. And it's an addiction that she's had for years, like, you know, years.
She's still out on the streets right now.
She's still out on the streets right now as we speak. I pray for her, you know, and stuff like that. I always tell her, when you're ready, come to my home, but not until you're ready. Come when you're ready. I'm going to get you the help you need. She always tells me, you know, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I tell her all the time, you don't have no faith. Have faith. You know, my mom was really proud of me because I was epileptic. I was born with epilepsy. Um, I showed signs. I was supposed to be mentally retarded, mentally challenged. My mom and dad were cousins and they had no idea. So I share the same bloodline. I am 100% them.
Mhm.
Um, so my mom and dad, you know, they had no idea all this stuff. They found out later after it was too late. She was already pregnant. Hey, you know, this is what it is. They told me that I wouldn't live to see 21. I'm now 34 and still going strong. If I even feel jittery, if I even feel sick, ever, I get on my knees and start praying. And it has helped me tremendously. The epilepsy has gone. Um, because you can feel them when they start to come on. You know, you'll start to shake or you'll feel funny and you'll know. I go to my altar and I ask her, take it away, take it away, take my queen, take this, please help me, please. And I've literally done wonderful. I'm not on medication. None of that. I beat all odds that were against me. Um, so what I have to tell people, the stronger your faith, the better you are. Like I was pre-diabetic. I was all kinds of stuff. Like I was sick. I couldn't breathe on my own. I was on a nebulizer. I was on albuterol every 2 hours. I ain't used that thing in years.
Wow,
Definitely
that's
been a
amazing.
while.
That's amazing. I mean,
When
how?
we first got together, I would have to constantly take her to the hospital, especially during the winter time, at least 2, 3 times a month. It was so bad. I would have to constantly, in the middle of the night, like I'd freak out because she'd stop breathing on me. You know, it was so bad. It was horrible to the point where I seriously thought I was gonna lose her one day, and then just out of nowhere, like she just stopped. She hasn't gone to the hospital really, hasn't really been on her medicine like that, hasn't had to use her asthma pump. Like
I have rescue inhalers. It's so bad. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, PTSD, ADHD, bipolar disorder. This is what they all diagnosed me with and tried to put me on medication.
thought I was crazy.
I refused to take the medication. I I started praying. Um, I don't have outbursts. Um, when I start to feel myself get upset, well, she puts me in line, and so does Santa. She like, sit down somewhere. Like you're going a little bit too far now. You get upset, but no, seriously, like I went
Um,
through a
just
lot
real
of
quick,
stuff.
just real quick. Now, she is nowhere is she implying for anybody to stop taking medication, okay?
No, no,
Just a
no, no.
disclaimer, we're not trying to tell people stop taking medication. She's just telling a personal
This is
story. It's something
yes,
that
yes,
happened to her. So just want to make that clear to people. Okay, go
yes,
ahead.
yes,
No,
yes.
we're
No,
not. If it truly, it's just something that didn't help us.
it didn't help me.
I mean, like when I was on the medicine, it made me very aggressive. Very, I mean, I tried different medications before I realized it just wasn't for me. I had to try a different route, and I mean, and this was it. It just everybody else it's different. For everybody else, it's
So you would say it was more of a spiritual war.
yeah.
As it was
It's
more of a
I
spiritual.
was fighting.
it's cause you're just a Taurus, and Tauruses are crazy. Tauruses with their OCD, and then the damn Aquarius is out there
Oh
too.
God, yes.
I'm joking around.
But I try to tell everybody this, and this is, like you said, like don't stop taking your medicine. Don't I realized I didn't have a problem. I realized that I was 100% normal. Like that, this was making me worse. Like I was like, wait,
What
hold
everybody
on.
else kept putting in
Everybody,
your head to
yeah,
make you
that I
feel
was
like it
crazy, and I
was
was like, I'm not crazy, dude. Like what? I'm not crazy. Like no, no, no. So I started praying. If I need this, show me, my queen. Show me. Show me the way. And she doesn't ever steer you wrong. Like when I need something and I'm really lost, like for some reason she likes to hide the stuff in the mornings. Like this is her thing. I don't know why. Every morning when we're trying to leave,
when you're in a rush.
she takes your keys. She'll take your wallet.
It'll be right in front of you though. She just hides it.
Yeah, it'll be gone. Like, and you'll miss it. And he's like, okay, I don't want to play this game today, mama. Like, let me see. And then it'll appear right in front of you. But like, like that's just stuff we do. It like I said, it's not for
Everyone will
everybody.
have their own, because mine and her relationship with the queen are both completely different. They're opposite. She's more goofy with her and more outgoing, and I'm just the secretive one. Like I want her to sit next to me and I just talk to her. And I mean, it just depends on the relationship that you create with her, that you want with her. The energy that she feels off of you is the connection that you'll have. Because mine and hers are completely opposite, so it just depends on the connection that you have with her, the one that you create, something that is comfortable with you. We all have them differently.
Like I walk up to her and I be like, "Hey, girl, how you doing with your pretty self, girl? You're so gorgeous, girl. You better stop." And that's how I talk to my queen. And then Mimi's like more serious. She's like, "Hi, queen. Good morning." Yes. Oh, I'm very respectful. Like I don't cuss at the queen. Oh, definitely not. I don't raise my voice.
We even have her in the room because it's disrespectful to get undressed and do the nasties.
Whatever you may do, she's not in our room. Like no.
No.
Her altar's in our living room because that's the first thing I want to see when I go to sleep, and that's the first thing I want to see when I get up. And I mean, I might get up at 2 a.m. and come to my altar, and she'll tell you like, I'll just get up and want to come to the altar, and she'll just look at me like, I'm gonna go stand at the altar because I feel like maybe, hey, I need to pray, or hey, I need to do this. There's something I forgot to do, so I'll get up and do it myself. And I mean, like I have literally devoted, even when I work out, the first thing I do, get off, go up to the altar. Like I literally have so much faith that I mean, it's crazy. My wife thought for the longest, she was like, you have faith no matter what goes wrong. Like, you still have faith. Like, this was a long time ago. She was like, I don't understand.
Because I just wasn't there.
Yeah, she wasn't there yet, and she didn't understand, like, hey, what if you're locked in a room? And this is what I used to tell my wife all the time. And all you can do is trust in your own faith. Trust your faith to get out of that room. Like, the door's locked. You can't get out. You have to believe. You have to trust that this door is going to open. That's how I always felt. Doors were closed, and I had to trust that they were going to be open. These obstacles were going to blow up and be out of my way. And little by little, every obstacle that is in my way is being split in half.
I'm not saying we still don't have a ways to go, but we have come a very long way from where we started. And
Exactly.
it's going to be a long road, and it's a struggle, but we're getting there. We're going to make it, and we're making it, and that's all that matters. That's all that counts, is where you're at right now and what it takes for you to go on to your next step, your next level, where you need to be.
The one thing about us is, like, you see how beautiful our altar is. It's very, we love our altar. We have built this together, and
our most prized possession
yes,
in our home that we own ever.
And but we don't put pictures of it up. We don't show it off. We don't do those things. Like, we don't do those kind of things.
And for
Like,
this video, you removed a lot of things, so it's your protection.
No, yeah.
Which I always tell people. Yeah.
But I mean, it's okay. Like, this is the first time it's ever been on Facebook. It's ever been anywhere. We personally, like, there's one right here. We'll show you. This is a beautiful. No, this one's okay.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, not this one. It's not protection.
Okay. Okay.
This one right here is our earth, wind, and fire. Beautiful. Okay. They all have a story. They all landed into our house. We went to the Yibbity one time, and it was crazy. We went in there, and we only had a little bit of money, right? And we were buying a statue because that was the promise, She turned around, and she gave us these 2 handcrafted owls free.
Wow.
The lady was like adding everything up and didn't charge us. So
another thing though is keeping your promises.
We kept our promise.
Because when we broke them, it was not unintentional, but she does not like it when you break your promise.
Do not, yeah.
When you promise her something, you make sure that you are going to be able to pull through with it, to be because she will expect it. And if it's not there, then she will, just like anybody else, she will get angry, she'll feel betrayed and disrespected. So if you're asking her for something, she asks for the same respect that you're asking of her for you to give in return.
Yeah, so I personally explain that to a lot of people. It's like, if you're gonna make a promise that's very simple and that you can keep. Like, hey, I promise you that I'm gonna go out there, and the first homeless I'm gonna see, I'm gonna treat him to a hot meal. An easy promise like that. There's a lot of people that make
people that's true at heart. That's all that it takes. That's all that matters to her, is to know that she can, to build that trust.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whenever I make a promise to her, I know better. Like, I don't sit here and be like, oh, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you $1 billion. Well, I don't have $1 billion to give her, so I can't give that to her. We make her promises and we keep them. She has blessed us with so much. It's truthfully a blessing, but our faith has brought us together more than anything. I used to pray alone, like I said, every night, every day, 5, 6 times a day, and now we pray together. My wife refused to pray with me at one point. She refused, she was like, that's for you, it's not for me, and that's how it went. And now she's right there beside me.
Yeah, look at her getting initiated later on.
Yeah, as I tell you get your wings. But she showed me before, in a dream before, how strong my faith was. And I'll tell you about this dream, because this dream was really interesting. So in this dream, my wife was standing there, and it was when we lived in this little bitty efficiency that we were talking about. I mean, it was so tiny, it was probably the size of your kitchen. I'm not even kidding. Mm. It was like you literally had to go outside and just to change your mind. Just seriously, like it was horrible. Well, in my dream, I was like, I have faith and I believe. And my wife was like, I believe I can fly. Like, I believe I'll be off the ground. I can lift myself off the ground with my faith. My wife said, well, no, you can't, you can't. I bet you can't. I was like, but I bet you I can. I came off the ground and I was lifted up. I knew, I know how strong my faith is. Like, I don't question it. I don't, oh, well, when something goes a little wrong or something's not going my way, well, oh, no, she's not helping me. She's not doing, no. That's not true. There's always going to be obstacles in everybody's life. There's always going to be trials and tribulations that you have to get through.
In every faith, it's always going to be tested. And everything you do, it's always going to be a test. And you just have to show and prove how strong your faith is in it. I mean, nothing ever comes easy, but it's how much you're willing to work towards it, how much you truly want it is the question, and that's the real.
Because if it's too easy, if it's too good to be true, it's probably it's too easy to get. You don't want it. Nobody wants anything that's easy to grab. Like, you don't want that.
It'll be gone as fast as it came.
The more effort, the more work you put into something, you take pride in it. Like, you appreciate it more. And that's what's happened. Our altar, like my wife said, like, she was looking at me crazy because I would pray to this little bitty skull. Like, I was just praying and praying and praying, and she's just looking at me, burning incense, that I got from the dollar store, and I'm just praying. And I told her, I was like, it's okay, whatever. I'm still going to go in my room and close the door and pray. And I did this. And I told her, when I get money, I promise you, your altar will be beautiful. Like, it would be wonderful. And it took time. It took a long time. And now her altar has turned into this. But I didn't have any money. Like, I didn't have anything to offer her. I couldn't even put money on her offering tray because I didn't have it. I didn't. Every 50 cents, every quarter, we were counting change just to put gas in our car. We remember those days and we don't ever forget them. But we know that she's brought us to where we are at today. Like, this is where we are more at peace. This is where it's just, whenever we're going through something, it's just like a mama. Come here, baby. Come here. It's okay. You need to cry? Cry, baby. It's okay. You need to yell? Get it out. It's okay. Get it out. Just do it. Whatever you're going through, just do it. Just it's okay. And there was times where, my wife would be like, well, I don't know why you're doing that. It's really not working. Like, look at where we're still stuck at. But it is. And I kept on, like I said. And then they said, hey, we got a bigger apartment for you. You want to look at it? It's only $10 more. Okay. So we went and we got it. They were going to give it to somebody else, but they didn't.
Just happened to walk in and they were fixing it. And she's like, you're all right. If you want to paint it and clean it yourself, you can have it.
I put the work into it. I painted it. I cleaned it up. I told him I got it. Give it to me, and I got it.
But it was ours.
And we moved. There's times in your life where it seems like your back is against the wall and there's nothing you can do.
Sometimes you might lose your faith.
But that's when you need to pray even harder, because you might not think she's listening, but baby, she's listening.
That's when she's listening the most, because she knows that she feels your heart, your heavy heart, your true intentions, your soul. She feels that. And that's when she comes in. And that's when she feels like, all right, it's time.
And she supplies us with everything that we need. She even has her own pet turtle.
His name is Fred. No, for real.
She does. There was a turtle crawling in the street and he almost died. He lost all his claws and he was like this big. He was the size, a little bit bigger than a quarter. Fred is now that big.
Wow.
And when he was injured, he had no water, no nothing. And I told her, I took the turtle inside. My best friend's little girl found her and took the turtle inside, and I kept him. And I took care of him. I offered it. Yeah, I offered it. I said, "You can have Fred," and his heater broke one night, and I didn't know. I was asleep. And this is a true
Like, hey,
story.
hey, my turtle.
She was like, check on Fred. Yeah, she was like, check on Fred, check on Fred. What? I just fed him. He's fine. Stuck my hand in the water, and his heater broke. So it was ice cold. So he was sick. So I put him in warm water and kept him like that. And we immediately ran to the store to buy him a heater the next day. But because of the COVID and everything, you couldn't leave at night. But we immediately ran to the store and got it. But he literally looked like he was about to die. We transferred him into the other heater. We put and he's healthy as ever, like healthy as ever. But that is her pet. We that is her pet. And we'll bring him out and let him walk around and do his thing sometimes.
She'll have no problem letting you know what's on her mind. She will tell you.
She'll wake you up in the
And
middle of the
when she
night.
wants something, when she needs something, if you're not listening, she will let you know. And if you still ain't listening, she gonna find a way to make you.
Well, here's an example. One time I was supposed to clean my altar at a certain time, and I didn't do it. I didn't do what I said I was gonna do. I told my wife, I have to get home. I have to get home. She was like, man, you can wait a little bit longer. You can wait a little bit longer. When I got home, she threw that whole altar down. Am I lying? Threw the whole altar down.
She was pissed.
She was mad. She was like, you didn't.
You promised me at this time, and you didn't do it.
And she threw everything at me. At me. It all fell on me.
And nothing broke. She was just
like, I was like, okay, I'm so sorry, my queen, da 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 da. Started talking to her, but stuff like that, like has happened to us, like for real, we're just like, oh, you're in a bad mood, But she's very open. She don't mind ever speaking her mind, ever. And my mom walked into my home, and the one thing my mom said, because she believes very firmly in La Santa Muerte, was, man, you could hear her talking all the way outside. I started laughing. She was like,
you can feel the energy.
She's like, you could feel the energy for real. She's like, it's loud. But my mom said, your flaquita is going to be a gordita because we feed her so much.
Yeah, oh yeah, she eats good every day, 3 meals a day. Yeah,
because she has made it a way for us to eat good.
And it's not always something. It's just something simple, just a croissant, a little mini croissant bread that we'll give her for lunch or for breakfast, and just just offer to her as thanking for everything that she does, just for protecting, just for being here. Nothing that we do always has to be this great grand gesture. It's the simple things and the energy that you put into it.
We go to Dollar Tree for a lot of stuff.
A lot of her stuff that we buy, yeah.
The food, we'll go to Dollar Tree because we can buy a bunch of it and stock up on it. We're not crazy. We're not gonna go buy outrageous, expensive breads, because like, no, we go and we make sure she has bread. It's fresh, it's good. But we don't go blow like $50 on bread.
Yeah, it's not.
We did that once. That didn't work out.
It's not. It's not the price tag. Is the intention behind behind what you're doing. That's what it is. It's not just it's the Dollar Tree. It's not worth it. It's the intentions that you put behind that. It's like a lot of people rather go and waste $12 on a candle, when the Dollar Tree also has a candle, but it's the intentions and the energies that you put behind that.
And she will always know what your true intentions are, and that's all that matters.
That's something that people that, like, I've heard a lot of people, as like, when they start worshiping Santa Muerte, I've seen it everywhere. Oh, I don't have a statue. I need a statue. I started off with that little bitty skull. Like, she knows, and you're going to get there. But, like, it's okay. Like, I started off putting my faith into that little bitty thing.
And she would still just offer her small things, Mexican candies,
Whatever I had, I'd dig in my lunchbox.
We'll make her fresh, like waters, limonada, watermelon and stuff like that. And just, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't even have to be expensive. It can be, 50 cents. Sometimes I get stuff that's on discount, and we get it just for her because it's 50 cents. It doesn't have to be, I need to spend $20 to show her how I truly care. No, because your intentions behind it, she knows that are true and pure, and that's what she wants. That's what she feeds off, is the energy that comes behind it, the energy that you put into it.
And not even just that, what we notice is, like, now that our altar is set up the way we want it, I went to buy this cabinet that she's in, this beautiful cabinet, and the lady wouldn't even take my money. She said
You were expecting to pay for it.
She handed it back to me and said, I can't take your money. I can't take your money. I was like, what? She was like, just, if you ever get rid of it, just give it to somebody else that needs it. I was like, well, yes, ma'am. Stuff like that happens to us all the time. I could walk into anywhere and, like, it's just crazy stuff.
People would just, start telling her their whole life story, and they'll literally say, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I just feel so comfortable, talking with you, and you just, you make me feel like it's okay. Like I can talk to you. Like you understand. And then she really does. I mean, she's helped me through a lot of my struggles, and we've helped each other because I've helped her calm down some a little bit,
I used to be a little hood rat.
Well, before we wrap this up, because I know you have a lot to say still, so we might make a part two here. But before you wrap this up, is there, out of your heart, is there anything, advice you want to give the people that are gonna watch this video on YouTube? Like, what's your advice, out of your heart?
As I said before, one of the biggest things that I see people struggle with is the statue. You need a statue. You have to have a statue, but that's not true. That's like, whatever you have, she knows that's all you have, and she's gonna give you what you need went through time. Whenever you feel like your back's against the wall, don't let it ever stop your faith. Your faith, your energy. Always look in the positive side. Like, I'm gonna go through this for a reason. We went through this so we can have understanding. We now have understanding. And like I said before this video, nobody's ever, like, they don't see my altar. It's very private. It's, because I got there, but a lot of people try to show off their stuff and, like, oh, look at this, and then you'll hear somebody else say, well, can I have a statue, or can I buy a statue, or I can't afford a statue, and I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that I started with nothing, and I got this big, beautiful altar now.
That's all you have is just the dollars.
She
give
knows
her that dollar. That's all she needs. That's all she takes, because she knows that your intentions behind are true. Just know that as long as your intentions behind it are true and it's from your heart, that she will guide you where you need to go. Just have that faith. I know it's going to be hard, and I know it's a lot easier said than done. And trust us, we've definitely been there. We've overcame it, and that's how we know we're able to do this and help other people in return. It's by going through what we went through. Just know that it's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. Just have your faith strong and don't lose faith in her. Trust me, I know. I did, and it was not a great road.
Because I'm just going to say this real quick. When my back was literally against the wall, my wife was angry. I was on the verge of a divorce. My mom wasn't helping none. Like, I was dealing with almost going back to being incarcerated. I was dealing with just crazy stuff. But the one thing I didn't lose was my faith. I knew that that's all I had, and it has brought me so far. But I had nothing. Like, if you would have seen what I had, you'd be like, I understand. Like, nothing. My clothes were raggedy, junky. I was able to go on a shopping spree. She was able to go on a shopping spree. We're able to go get new glasses next week.
Just don't ever forget where you came from. We're still able to get to the point where we help our neighbors. If they don't have food, we give them food. If they don't have anything to wear, we'll help them out. So just always know where you came from, and don't always be afraid to try to give and help somebody else that was in the same position that you were in, because you know how it is. You know how it feels to be in that position.
We just went to the store a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago, and we bought gloves and clothes and shoes for the homeless. and we're going to donate them for Christmas. We're going to go around to the ones that everybody forgets
and on
about.
Thanksgiving, we do the same thing. We cook them big old feasts just like we would. We give them, turkey and ham and
Stuffing and dessert and a soda, and we go over there and we feed them because we don't forget where we came from. We know.
At one point we were there as well. We were out on the streets. She lived under a bridge. We were sleeping on a sidewalk together at one point. We've definitely been there, and we know how it is, and we know where. We don't ever forget where we came from and where it took us. And if we have it, we will give it. If it's our last, we will share. And that's all that matters.
That's all you got to remember.
To keep your faith on you and always have your faith, no matter what.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's, see when we could do a part 2, because I want to know Mimi's story. All right.
That one might be an emotional one. I will cry.
But every story is beautiful. Like, that's the thing. Everybody's story is beautiful. And we're here telling you, the only reason why we're making this video is to let you know that, hey, somebody out there, that, it might be something small that you could compare to. There might be a struggle that we went through that you're going through right now. And you might be at the road we were at.
I just hope that helps and it gets you on the path to where we're at, to be happy and to feel.
And I used to make my wife tell me one positive thing she did every day. One positive thing that she did every day.
It didn't matter if I didn't forget my keys today. The rest of my day was shitty, but I didn't forget my keys today, which is something that I do every day.
Something positive.
Just something simple, and it'll just grow into something bigger and bigger, and then every day will become more positive. You'll look at something, well, that doesn't bother me anymore because this is what I'm looking at. This is my future.
Okay.
You just always got to keep your head above waters. Like, it's gonna be, people are gonna try to tear you down. People look at me because I'm covered in tattoos. Crazy, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all because I know who I am. I know I am blessed. I know, I'll wave at them. How you doing? That's my wife. How you doing? This is good to see you. Like, because you know what? You might need that act of kindness. You might need somebody to tell you that. Like, it's okay. Like, you might not like me, and that's fine. It's okay. I still want to bless you. And every time I go into a store, every time I walk somewhere, I tell everybody, bless you. Bless you, child. Bless you. Just, and it's just something so simple can make somebody's day. You can't forget that. Like, you can't forget, hey, somebody might be having a bad day.
Yeah.
Like, and my wife's literally helped me with that. Like, to understand that, hey, don't get upset every time somebody snaps at you. They might be having a bad day too.
Yeah, she was the bullheaded one.
Yeah, I'm the bull, yeah. But I've came a long way. Thanks to Carlos and thanks to my wife.
All right.
And of course, my peace.
Okay. So you both have a blessed day. Thank you for your words. So that I hope it's gonna touch a lot of people, a lot of the followers. Your story that are struggling, and no matter what, there's always a way out when you have your faith there.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You guys have a blessed day, and
hope to see y'all soon.
Hope to see you soon, and may you be blessed with many blessings.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, Carlos.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Of a story of 2 young ladies on how they were struggling. They were basically in the streets. And then they put their faith first in God, and then after that, La Santísima Muerte. And I've been a witness to that, how they went from the streets to now owning their own place, having their 2 cars. It's all about faith. It's all about faith. Never put your faith down, no matter what. First your faith in that universal creator, and then into your practices. Believe in yourself that you can, use your personal energies to get you ahead out there, because that's the little secret about it. It's just your personal energies. When you have that faith and you say, mountain move,
mountain, meaning those obstacles in your life, they will move, you know. So you are the one that puts those obstacles in there by your choices that you make. But also, if you made those choices and then you find out, where I made a bad choice, you can always go back, you know, to the other choice that you had. So with that message, I just want to say, you know, you all have a blessed day. Any questions, please feel free to ask here on my Facebook channel. And also, you know, the girls' Facebook channels will be here. They're very good at, you know, giving that story out. So hopefully that will help a lot of you. So all of you have a blessed day.